Greetings, lovely Leo. This is your reading for the full moon in Taurus. Beginning of eclipse season. I guess it's already here. On the 19th of November. So check out your ascendant. If you know your other planets, your ascendant. Cross watchers, of course, as well. Are most welcome. And your moon, Jupiter and Venus. So we've laid some of the cards out here to begin with, and we'll go through and clarify as we do. Overarching energies for you, Leo, at this time. You might be getting infused with a lot of new information, new insights, perspectives, all that kind of thing. And things may well be in a kind of shifting state, as if, your feet aren't firmly planted on the ground at the moment, simply because a lot of things are changing around you. This is the Tower. It's an amazing card. And we see at the top, the Eye of Horus. We're seeing this in our world. Whatever your circumstance, situation, whatever is going on for you, we're talking overarching energies simply means, what is in your atmosphere, in your environment, what's floating around currently. When we look at the position of choice for you, and sometimes in moments of movement and shift and change, and let's face it, it can be difficult, but of course nothing ever lasts. So sometimes our ability to make decisions can for a short time be somewhat unclear as to what we're going to do next or where we're going. In the position of choice, we have Leo, the Five of Swords. In the Thoth deck, it's called defeat, because there's a sense here of, there's a sense in this card of, amongst other things, disappointing, which is a harsh word, I think, disappointing oneself, whether that's in behaviours or ways about doing things, even on a mental, in a way of understanding what you do, or refusing to understand, actually. We look at swords, they're all mind cards. Ultimately, it's about the mind. And I mean, let's face it, the mind can play some pretty, just constantly, tricks. So it looks like, you're you're going through a little difficult patch, possibly, for some Leo out there. It could be something completely different. It could just be you choosing to do things in a different way in relation to what's going on around you in your environment. Qualities for ease at this time for you, Leo. We get the Empress. As I said, we will go through and clarify. Look, this is open-hearted, creative. This is like unconditional love at its height. So traits for ease, I guess we always, in times of difficulty, when we go into survival mode, which is very Taurian, we need to remember this. We need to remember sitting in the Empress's chair, in this position, and foster those qualities. So great creativity can be of assistance to you at the moment, which is not something Leos find difficult. It is part of your sort of archetype, I guess, to enjoy, to have fun, childlike play, to be creative, and also to remember, a loving heart, to remember to nurture other people as much as yourself. Primarily, you need to do it for yourself first. Have a practice in order to do that, whatever that happens to be. If it's going for a walk, that's beautiful. If it's going for a swim or whatever it is, art, anything, music. Moving forward, we have the Hierophant. Look, we could look at this in a couple of different, or a few different ways, really. You could see there are restrictions. You've got, I'm not saying stuck between a rock and a hard place, and this could be quite specific for some Leo out there, but whatever your scenario is, remember these are incredibly general readings. You may feel a level of restriction, but at the same time, that restriction, whatever it is for you, is actually offering you something, because there's something else on the other side of the restrictive qualities here, which is what I feel from the Hierophant in this reading, Leo. I don't always. That it's somehow representative of a limitation, and yet the paradoxical nature of this, the limitation itself is going to allow you to open up a new door of sorts, to venture into a new zone. So it's quite interesting. So let's go through. We've got the Morgan Greer, that's sort of 70s deck, I guess. We'll go through and clarify. And then we'll use Brian Froud's Pixie and Fairies to get a little bit more of a glimpse. Then we have some, which are face down, a journey map card, and Kim Cran's Animal Spirit. Beautiful deck, face down at the end, just to see if they relate. So Leo, let's get going and look at this Tower in your overarching energies. Whether you're seeing this in your environment or not, these readings won't resonate with everyone at all. And if they do, it's fab. Now, the Tower. We have death. Yes, there is some kind of transformative quality to where you're at the moment. Whether that's transformative in the way that you view yourself, the way that you view your own limitations, and I'm talking like self-limitations. I'm talking self-limitations. This is shifting, Leo. What can you say about death? It's a metamorphosis. It's uncomfortable. It is, it's like a process of dissolving in order to be reborn again, isn't it? It's an uncomfortable feeling. You know, if you think about it, there's a chemical process going on. There's all sorts of things going on with that. But when we speak of it, we speak in, obviously, in sort of analogies or metaphors. And with the Tower, it really does indicate that something new and pretty amazing is actually in the process of being born at this current time. So let's have a look at the Five of Swords, this card of the mind and the position of choice for you, Leo. Whoa, the cards are going all over the place. Look, at this time there's a thread running through all of these readings, not to marginalise this as an individual reading for yourself, Leo. There's a common thread that's going through all of them. I get the sense, at this time that we have, or we have had the ability, if you do believe in past lives or this sort of karmic evolution, karma not in the sense of the Western concept of it, is not karma in that way. It's a process of a soul's evolution. So if you do believe in that sort of thing, there is a thread at the moment with somehow understanding certain, whether they be lessons or contracts with others or aspects of ourselves that we repeat At this current time, there is a chance, it seems like a great encouraging atmosphere to make some progress in this area, in an evolutionary sense, on a personal level is what I'm saying. Okay, so I do go on a bit, I know, just trying to explain myself, my thoughts on it. Just my thoughts on it, of course. Everyone has their own thoughts. Okay, so we're looking at the Five of Swords here in your position of choice. I do sense a level of disappointment, a difficulty in letting go, shifting, changing, and maybe being a little bit too hard on yourself at the same time. Most definitely. We seek guidance here. We must understand whatever is going on. Understand that Hierophant moving forward, it may appear, as I said before, as a restriction, as a limitation, because we get the Hierophant coming up again. This is the little hurdle here. The thing is, or part of it, but the thing is that, as I said before, the limitations of this Hierophant, actually there's an other side to it, which you will see. The guidance here is to go inward, is to rest, is to seek guidance from that which you relate to, like whatever it is, whether it's mentorship, whether it's just general support, whether it's like being held, you know, like physical, just physical affection, security, anything that fosters rest and security, because there's something here in this reading that you're overcoming right now. We also have these two coming out at the same time, and this is in relation to the Five of Swords, which in the Thoth deck is called Defeat. We also have these two cards. We have the Devil, often about bondage, habits, attachments that we sometimes don't even consciously, that we're not consciously aware of sometimes. There's an opening of the eyes here, Leo. There's a new insight with this Tower and this transformation. It's pretty big. And then, of course, the Four of Swords coming up all the time in these readings, as is the High Priestess. Just different flavours, you know, different scenarios. It's not like every reading's the same or you read it in the same way. But the Four of Swords, card of respite, card of healing, a card of going inwards and choosing that, because when we come into this space, we not only just fully rest physiologically and mentally, but we are open to the guidance that this High Priestess offers, certainly in relation to this. And I do see it that way in this reading, as the restrictions of the Hierophant. But in fact, what you see as restrictions currently, in fact, moving forward, are not going to be. In fact, there's an opening for you here. There's possible insight here. Okay, so let's keep moving because I'm slowing up a bit here. We get to qualities for ease for you, Leo. We get the beautiful Empress. We've got the two big kahunas, big female characters here. The High Priestess and the Empress. What can you tell us about the Empress for Leo, please? The Empress for Leo, please. Might get one more card here. We get the Knight of Wands, which is impulsive. There's elements. Yes, there's elements, Leo. here of you. Maybe a bit impulsive, like full of like life and soul of the party. Maybe a little bit impulsive here. We also have, you are trying to, you know, the tower comes down. What do we get? The Three of Discs. You are building foundations, you know, building foundations, collaborations, traits for ease. Seek others' assistance. Seek others' assistance and take notice of offerings without just disregarding, because they don't. Just be focused and aware of any offerings that come in. Now this is emotional offerings here, but we don't necessarily see. They don't come in the same form that we used to. It's like a brain change occurring. And in that time, and as I spoke last time, I think of liminal space, you know, that time in between thresholds, all of that kind of thing. In last readings, if you want to check those out, from the new moon in Scorpio, because this full moon in Taurus is just a progression onwards, of course. What was I saying? Brain change occurring whilst that is occurring. What you start to see starts to change. It's like a reconfiguration, a rejigging. You're putting the bricks and mortar in a few different places here because you're building something new. And so make use of collaboration. Take note of what people are actually offering to you. You may not see. It's just a general thing for the Four of Cups there, a general meaning to it. We have, that just popped out, Justice, this beautiful balanced card. I mean, in some ways we're rebalancing, and we have to, after a Tower transformation, death moment. But our choice really, which is going to benefit us, is to go into a kind of quieter period here, just for a short time. And as I said before, this is a general thread that's going through a lot of readings. So let's have a look at the Hierophant. I mean, we've got the Hierophant twice. Moving forward and in a position of choice. Can we have a look at the Hierophant, please, even though we've got him twice? Her, him. It's about time and the cyclical nature of the way that these things work. One day you're up, one day you're down. So we get two cards. That just came out, the Hangman. Yeah, one day you're up, one day you're down. We get the moon. First and foremost, as I say, seasonal. We may well have something that is revealed at this full moon time. The Hanged Man just indicates that, yeah, this is a time where you can have some moments, sit in this position or hang in this position of the Hangman, where there's not a lot coming in, not a lot going out. As I said before, death, the Tower, dissolving. The Hangman is a chrysalid, dissolving, melting, in order to transform into something else. And this is a pretty amazing theme across the board. So let's see. Pixie and Fairies. Let's just get a few cards from Brian Froud's beautiful Pixies and Fairies. I've got two. I'll get one more. the feline pops out. It is, it is the feline, Leo. It is a card about having to allow processes to naturally and organically do their thing. Because as much as this is about transformation, it's about the need to tie up loose ends and clear up, clean out, even if that's on a purely simple material level. We could go from one extreme, clearing out the house, to actually coming to a realization that you've cleared out some old karmic patterns. This is allowing you, right? So this is the feline. We're looking at just at the general reading. We have fairies of the future moving forward, running with the bull. We can do this because we've cleared up this. This is part of a dissolution or a dissolving, a transformation, metamorphosis. Big kahunas here. And then we have ecstasies. We can move as slowly or as quickly through this. You just have to do it at your own pace. That's just what I get. Ecstasies, two becoming one. It's a really electric card. It is about new connectors firing up in the brain. It's about bodies of light connecting. It's about communication. It's about the pulse of electricity. And the conduction of energy. So there's big shifts, Leo. Now, when we look, we'll pull up these. I don't know what they are. We had two cards from Kim Cran's Animal Spirit deck. And I do think, like as I said, you can go as slow or as fast with this. It can be really messy, or it can be quite swift. It's just what I'm getting. Whatever this is for you, process, dealing with a hurdle in your life, things are shifting. It's big changes, but you can make it really messy and sloppy, or you can make it quick and clean. That's just what I get. We have the hyena here. We see the moon. I don't have my book for this, so I just go on what I think, what I feel actually. And we have the stingray, this beautiful spinal. There's a great similarity, the spinal column lit up between ecstasies and the stingray, colours of the rainbow. As much of a nervous system shift as a brain change. I guess they're both an interconnected unit. So we have the old hyena here. Oh, a bit prickly fur. It's a bit rough and rugged and kind of it's uncomfortable is what I get. Dry, dusty, screechy, prickly. It's necessary though, because once that's dealt to, dissolved is the key word here. Here we have the beautiful stingray. Woof. Clean sweep, Leo, clean sweep. And something that is the foundation to all of this in the way that you work with it. Allow it to pass through you, because it sort of is like a passing through. When we enter into any great metamorphosis, we process it through every cell in our body. We have heart song. This is the foundation to everything. Heart song. It's about the threads of connection that we have with others as well, that we don't see those connections. We kind of think of them like, yeah, but we don't necessarily see them as as tangible energetic threads, of which they are. And what do we get? Harlequin and stars. Contemplate, time to review, let go and make room, Leo. So I hope you found that useful today. That is your reading for this full moon in Taurus. Thanks, Leo. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me.